Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now the middle of October already, and we are getting closer to the release date of Tales of the Jedi, which by the way debuts on October 26th by Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and exactly how they're going to show the fans different sides of characters like Dooku, Ahsoka, Anakin, Qui-Gon Jinn, you name it. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new universe between John, George, and Dave is that they are all working together as a team to really bring back Star Wars Legends, which by the way, there's a lot of stuff in Legends that are very much rich in material that's going to be picked up from these amazing creators. Now, given that Celebration is still a little bit of ways off before we get those major announcements by Bob Chapek and Favreau and Filoni joining the stage along with Lucas and all these amazing plans that they have in stock to make these announcements. But what's even all the more exciting is exactly what they have planned for some of the other characters that stretch across the Skywalker saga, a lot of which are going to gain retcons, including the character of Rey. Now, this has been an ongoing thing by Favreau and Filoni to attach Rey to that Kenobi and Palpatine bloodline. Now, yes, in Episode 9, it's canon that she is connected to the Palpatine bloodline, but they're adding on to that, as we have discussed before in the past, to make her half and half, to have a bloodline connected to the Kenobi family as well. Now, moving forward from all of this, there's more to the story that's actually beginning to develop by Favreau and Filoni behind the scenes that involves Rey's true name and exactly where it all comes from, and more related to her backstory. Now, with the Kenobi series now a thing of the past, creators Favreau and Filoni are actively restarting Rey's backstory for the Star Wars fans, to make her into both a Kenobi and a Palpatine by blood. Now, Rey's new backstory is set to be told in a new post-Episode 9 series that is planned to be released in 24 or 25, however the lore will first be introduced in 2023 in the form of books and comics. One of the biggest canon pieces that Favreau and Filoni are creating is giving Rey a brand new name as Rey Solana Kenobi and giving her a brand new design in the franchise. Rey is planned to actually sport long hair that reaches her waist area that will be tied up in a ponytail and also untied, as her new design with sporting black outfits that will be an homage to Luke Skywalker's attire in Return of the Jedi. Now, the plan by Favreau and Filoni is to make it canon that Rey Solana Kenobi was actually born on Coruscant, and that her real name is actually Kira instead of Rey. The name Rey is planned to just be a cover name that they gave her when they abandoned her on Tatooine in the new Star Wars canon that Favreau and Filoni are creating. It's noted that the details behind Rey's real name as Kira is described to be based on a Jedi warrior that died on Coruscant during the Old Republic era that Rey's parents learned about and gave her that name for a specific reason. Now, once again, I like what Favreau and Filoni are doing here, is that they are tying her real name to the Old Republic era. The fact that Rey's real name is really Kira, and how Kira is based on another character's name called Kira that dates back to the Old Republic era that died on Coruscant during one of the wars. Guaranteed, this probably is related to the sacking of Coruscant. I don't know if you guys know much about that, but read up on it. It's an amazing piece. The sacking of Coruscant is a big, historic moment in the Star Wars franchise. Now, the thing that goes beyond this is that this was an original idea, believe it or not, by J.J. Abrams to call her Kira in the actual sequel trilogy. And basically Favreau and Filoni are salvaging some of the original ideas by Abrams and by Colin Trevorrow of what they wanted to do in their iterations of the sequel trilogy before Kathleen Kennedy really kind of intervened and changed things around, and not so much for the better, in my opinion. Now, a lot of fans are going to be questioning themselves and asking me, is this really necessary, Mike? Do you think that this is necessary in the least? And I will say this, it may not be necessary to make all these changes, but you know what? It's entertaining, it's fun. I like how Favreau and Filoni are making Rey as a character a little bit more interesting. At least we're getting that. And how they will also be giving us their version of Rey in live-action form. Daisy Ridley has already been in the talks and has already signed up for a post-Episode 9 series to come in as a cameo. And I say a cameo because the story is not about Rey per se. It's about the new generation of Jedi that's going to feature Rey as a cameo, just to be clear. So we're going to be learning more about that next year. Keep your eyes open. Now, with that being said, John and Dave also got this idea from J.J. Abrams, who was originally going to call Qi'ra, actually, of course, in The Force Awakens, that got scrapped. Daisy Ridley, as of right now, is described to be already informed by Favreau and Filoni on the plan to change her name entirely, and Daisy is said to be 100% on board with it all for the fans to see this big change. Storyboards of Rey's new design are already done, one of which involves a double-bladed yellow lightsaber that folds just like in the Dark Rey vision of Episode 9, with the saber labeled as Qi'ra's retractable lightsaber. So to also be clear again here, Qi'ra Rey, or Rey Solana Kenobi, her new lightsaber in the canon is going to be modeled after Dark Rey's saber, except being yellow, and the hilt being more related to her staff. So, design-wise, the same as you saw pretty much for the most part in the ending of Episode 9, except imagine that as a double blade that retracts, that folds, a foldable lightsaber, alright? That we saw in the Dark Rey vision. It's basically going to be like that, except a yellow-bladed one. And that's what Favreau and Filoni are making canon, is the fact that what you saw in Episode 9 was not the complete version of her saber. And I like that. I like how they're adding more to the development of Rey as a character to make her all the more interesting. You see, this is the type of stuff that they needed to do in the sequels to kind of just keep the fans interested in Rey, you know, messing around with Jedi lore, and, you know, kind of advancing herself as a person, as a Jedi, or just as a Force user. Just all these fun little things that are for aesthetics or for fans to actually see. So, the thing about Rey here too is that Daisy really knows all about this, and there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes to really make it all go as smoothly as possible, to just make it to the point where fans are going to accept this and not neglect it, and to really just build upon, you know, what the characters were supposed to be like before Kathleen Kennedy jumped into the equation and changed things around, and not for the better. You know, let's not forget that a lot of plans by Abrams and Trevorrow, by the way, were really going to change the face of the sequels, and Kathleen Kennedy was not having it. She wanted nothing to do with them and their original ideas, which is very unfortunate because we could have gotten something so superior than what we got in theaters, without a doubt. So, overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.